look at how we configure up our hotspot. We've defined our hotspots on the RAYNET server, and we've copied the configuration ready to be put onto a Pi-Star hotspot. So here is my Pi-Star hotspot. You can see I've already got this configured up, connected up to Brandmeister, and you can see I've actually got a few transactions going across. That's fine. So what we need to do is go to configuration. There we go. And here we want to, well, first of all, we need to make sure we've got a few things set. First off, we need to make sure we've got the Brandmeister, the DMR master set to DMR gateway, right at the top of the list. If that's not set, then you're only having a conversation with one DMR server. And in this case, we actually want multiple DMR servers to be available to us, so we need to change that to DMR gateway. Once you select DMR gateway, you must hit apply changes, and then it'll re-show this page, and you should start to see all these additional options. Again, we can then reselect the Brandmeister master, and here I've got the United Kingdom one. My password for the BM system, if you've got that set, and you should. The Brandmeister ID, well, this is your DMR ID, and I strongly suggest you keep these consistent. So each hotspot is 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whatever number you want to have, but keep them the same. So don't have 01 for Brandmeister, 02 for Phoenix, 03 on the same hotspot. Just keep them all the same. So we created 01, so I'm going to cut that one to 01 there. Below here I've also got us connected to the Phoenix network. Don't have to, I can turn that off if I don't want it. In fact, it is off right now. But if I wanted that, I just turn that on, and then I can be connected to Phoenix as well. And that's all we need to do. Make sure we've got DMR gateway set, hit apply, make sure we've reselected our Brandmeister master, and hit apply again. Now we need to put in our RAYNET configuration. And so we go across up to here to expert and read the expert warnings to tell us that we must be careful in here. And we are going to go to DMR gateway, this one here. And this gives us a text field to show all the configuration for all the DMR servers. There's Brandmeister, Phoenix, and so forth. And what we need to do is put our cursor at the bottom, and then we simply paste in that configuration data we got from the RAYNET server. So here you can see DMR network 4. You should only ever have one for each network number. So you've got Brandmeister is 1, Phoenix is 2, this one's not used, and then 4 is the RAYNET one. And so there we can see we've got it enabled, we've called it RAYNET-UK DMR, and all the configuration set. And the most important thing is these talk group rewrite rules, which tell it to send all traffic starting 50 to the RAYNET server. But I've already provided that as part of the configuration, so that shouldn't be something you need to mess around with too much. And once you've done that, we simply hit the apply changes button. And depending on which Pi-Star you are using, if you're using a Pi-0, then it will take a little bit of time. I'm using a Pi-0 here. It'll take a bit of time to accept that change. Once that's done, we can go back to our dashboard. You can either go to dashboard or admin. Admin provides us a little bit more information, gives us these Brandmeister information up here as well. Temporarily, DMR is red while it's re-registering with those DMR servers. There we go, it's gone green now. Down here we can see we have Brandmeister as a DMR master, and we also have the RAYNET-UK DMR server as a master. So we are now configured to connect to both those services. And so if we now have a look on our RAYNET server here, and just refresh this page, we can actually see my hotspot has changed from being a simplex to a duplex. So it's correctly identified this as a duplex hotspot, and it was connected and last seen. Now, last seen now will continuously update. Every 10 seconds or so, that number will change. What's happening is your hotspot is doing what's called a ping. It's sending out a very small packet to say, of network traffic, to say, I'm still here. I'm still here. And I am listening for that traffic, and that is updating that number there. So if I haven't seen that traffic for some time, that's when I will start to mark the hotspot as down. This ping packet is also useful because it is used to make sure your home ISP firewall router box knows how to accept and send traffic. So it's keeping that refreshed. So it's a very important packet to keep sending, and that's exactly what the PyStar will do. Nothing you need to worry about there. And then, of course, the IP address. Now, of course, in my environment here, my hotspot is inside my house, as is the RAYNET server, so we have a private IP. But in your instance, that IP will be the public IP of your ISP. Don't need to worry about that too much. But you can also see down here we've got all the information updated from the PyStar now. So we've now got the location, country, GPS details, height, we are a duplexer, what version of PyStar you're running, what modem you're using. So in this case it's an MMDVM dual hat, so I've got 2 antennas. And then because I'm a duplexer, I've got 2 different frequencies to play with. Power, don't worry about that. These don't really give out that power code number, so you can just leave that at 1. And color code, again, you shouldn't need to worry about this other than when you set it in your radio to color code. But if you have multiple hotspots nearby on the same frequencies, then you may need to change the color code in order to keep that separation. Ideally, you change the frequency to somewhere else, but just be mindful. And never, ever, ever have 2 hotspots on at the same time on the same frequencies. Just don't do it. It causes network loops. It will cause you to lock up DMR servers, not just the RAYNET one, but Brandmeister or Phoenix or any other DMR server you might be connected to for that talk group will lock up. The RAYNET server is actually protected against that and will actively hunt out and block those. But for everybody else, no, it may cause what's called a loop, and you'll start, other people will just hear fragments of traffic being rebroadcast until something gets disconnected. So make sure you're never on the same frequency as another hotspot nearby. Very important thing there. When you created this hotspot, when we last saw it, and so forth. Now this ping count, this is a counter, and if we just refresh the page again, there we go, we've had 21 pings since this hotspot has been connected. Ideally, you will see that ping count always incrementing. As your hotspot reconnects, for whatever reason, if it loses network and reestablishes, that ping count will get reset to 0. If you have got a problem with your password for the hotspot, maybe you mistyped it, then you will see authentication error occurring here, and you'll see all these auth count start to increment. Again, great way to verify that you are connected to the system correctly. Okay, now let's start making some communications. So we have a couple of statics set up, so that's fine. And if we go across to my last heard here, well, I haven't been heard yet. That's fine. So if I go to my radio, and if I now key up 50235531 and press my PTT button, we'll see that I am now being broadcast around. Oops, why didn't that go out? And there in the dashboard, we can see my traffic has gone through. We do have an echo test, so we can check to see how I'm sounding, and that is 50899999, so that's 4 nines. This is Mike 0 Golf Uniform Yankee testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, had the mic, the speaker volume right down. But as you can see there, my traffic is being sent, and on the echo test, coming straight back again, and so I can see that I'm indeed connected up to the RAYNET server, and I have all access to all those talk groups that I wish to talk on. If we look in the Pi-Star dashboard, we can see we sent out to 508999 on time slot 2, and there's the traffic coming back. So we can see we've got network traffic and RF traffic. RF is obviously from the radio to the hotspot, and network, oh, there's 45% packet loss. It's, the hotspot's too close, I think. It's only inches from me. Let's move it away a little bit. So we can therefore see my traffic going back and forth, and we have a successful configuration of the Pi-Star connecting to the RAYNET server.